Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday. It's November 2nd, new month. And I'm excited to have on another great guest today. I'm actually excited to chat a little bit about their journey and their story. I say they because we've got it's technically a husband wife team, but we've got Tiffany on today. I'm excited to have her on, and we're gonna dive into their sort of launch into the online space as we usually do and talk a little bit about their story, their journey, their why, and their successes, their hurdles, and where they're at today. And if you're new or this is your first time tuning in, we go live every single Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern. We go on our Facebook page. It's Legendary Marketer Official. We go on our Facebook page, hit go live, and then we bring on a guest and usually we haven't ever chatted with the guest before, typically. So it's a little unscripted, maybe a little risky. I mean, they could come on and just say whatever they want to say. Maybe they're just ready to drop some F bombs and tell us off or something. I don't know. But usually it's pretty PG rated for the most part. Um, but it's a great opportunity for you to tune in. And the point of it all is we want to share inspirational stories. We want to share the stories of people who are in our community or in our industry who are finding success. And what we want to do is we want to highlight things that are working for them, things that aren't working for them. And it's almost a little bit of a training session, but also at the same time, we want to share sort of stories of inspiration that you can connect to, that people who are finding success, who are maybe like you, similar to you. Maybe you're a nurse and the guest that we have on today or whatever is a nurse, or maybe you work in construction. And the other day we had a lady who was in construction. So the point is to sort of have a vision and have a clear line of sight of what am I looking for as I get started in this online thing? Maybe this is your day one and you just happen to be watching this. We want to unpack for you a little bit about how this is possible for the average person and how you can get started really quick. That's the whole point of the show. And virtually every single day, for the last 2.5, almost 3 years now, every day we've interviewed a new client of ours or a student of ours, or somebody who's in our industry. Usually it's a client of ours, though. Somebody who went through the training and dove in, got started, and started figuring things out. And we like to unpack their success and share their social media so you can go follow them and sort of follow their journey as well. So we're going to bring on today's guest. If everybody can give me a little hand clap emoji to just virtually welcome Tiffany to the stage, that'd be awesome. Tiffany, what's happening?
Good morning, Matt. How are you?
Good. Doing well. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. So you are in somewhere in Chicago, the greater Chicago area, is that right?
Yep, we're in the burbs.
Nice. Out in the burbs. I I went to college in Chicago. I have a big Chicago art piece over here, and I really miss the city, but it was always kind of a funny talking point where people would say they're from Chicago, and I would say from Chicago or from uh whatever, Naperville or Wheaton or something like that, like 'cause it's so huge and most people are just like, "I'm just from Chicago." And then we'd make fun of all the people from the suburbs. So, anyway, tell me a little bit about your journey and your story and coming online, and how did that all start, and what, sparked interest in starting an online business?
Yeah, so about 2 years ago, I became a stay-at-home mom because it just didn't make sense to have two kids in daycare. It would take up the majority of my salary. And
Mm,
then about 6 months ago, we were feeling the rising costs and that on our savings account. And I decided to look into seeing how I could get back to contributing financially without having to go
mm,
back to work
yeah.
and still take care of the kids. So every night after the kids went to bed for about 2 months, my husband and I researched different ways to make money online. We even bought a digital real estate course. That was a mistake. We looked into Amazon retail arbitrage. I went out to Marshall scanning things, seeing if I could flip them on
Mm,
Amazon. I looked into private label, decided there would be way too much money tied up in that.
mm,
Um, and during all of this research, I had affiliate marketing in the back of my head and had looked into it a little bit. And then Matt saw an
mm.
article about this woman that works 4 hours a day, making thousands a month. And like that same week, she showed up on my TikTok, and
Shannon.
we were like, it was Shannon, yes.
Yeah.
We are like, we have to look into this. This is legit, and we're like, it's $7. What do we have to lose? And yeah, I mean,
Mm.
no regrets.
Wow, cool. Yeah, that's so funny. That article, like I think she got approached, or I don't know if they reached out to her or whatever happened, but that was just kind of a funny freak article because we had a lot of people messaging us like our COO, Julie had like her friend like message her or something. She's like, "Isn't this the company you work for?" And it was like just totally random people in our lives had seen this or got fed that article on Facebook or something. That's super cool. So you start looking into it. You'd bought digital real estate courses. I know those are really popular. Um, and you get started with the 15-day challenge. Was there a little like, okay, so you look into it, you do your reviews, you type in, is legendary marketer legit, into Google. Was it,
You're breaking up, man. I'm sorry.
oh, am I? Okay, let's see. Hang tight, hang tight. How are we looking now? Let's see.
I think you're
Oh, I
frozen.
think hang on. All right, everybody in the chat, can you let me
Oh,
know who's frozen, me
there
or
you go.
Tiffany? Oh, are we good? Okay.
I can see you now. Yeah.
Okay, cool. It might just be a StreamYard thing. Um, there's some people who are messaging me saying we're both good. Some people are saying they can only hear me, and I have no idea so we'll just keep playing it. And if you ever can't hear me, just let me know, okay?
Okay.
Cool. Anyway, I was just saying, were you skeptical getting started with the challenge because you've already you tried digital real estate or tried some other courses? When you dove into the challenge, what was that like?
You're breaking up again.
Mm, let's see. Hey, Tiffany. Let's see if she comes back. Can you hear me? Test. Test.
Oh, yep. There
Okay.
you are.
Hey, I'm gonna kick you out of the studio. Just leave it and come back in, okay?
Okay.
All right. Yeah, I don't okay, it seems like it's everybody's got me here. So, cool. I'm gonna take out my Facebook Live boot and just give her a kick, and we'll kick her out of the studio. We'll bring her back in here in a second. Um and let's see if where's her link at? There we go. And yeah, we'll start. She's oh, we're back. We're back. We're back. Hey,
Hey.
sometimes just refreshing it will help sometimes. Um okay, my question was because you bought other stuff, I was wondering if you were nervous or hesitant or skeptical when you started our 15-day challenge.
Absolutely, yeah. With the digital real estate course, we were like, it was like bits and pieces of a whole story. Like it was just missing information, and so we were worried that would be the same case here. And that's absolutely not it at all. It's like step by step, and you can find all the answers. So that was great.
Nice.
Yeah,
So a little bit different. Um
love it.
Yeah. So what I'm curious about, a lot of times I ask people, when they first get started. Like, had you done any like social media posting before? Were you, a social media rock star when you first started our course?
No, not at all. I had like 100 Instagram followers. I wasn't on TikTok at all. Like, no.
So totally brand new.
Yeah.
I think the interesting thing is like a lot of times when people come online and they even like when they come on our show and they think sometimes like, man, this person must have had like, got lucky or had some huge skills or something, but you've got 50,000 followers. Um, and okay, so here's the thing. Sometimes people are like, oh, whatever, 50,000 followers, who cares, whatever. Um, what does that even mean? And who even knows what that does? Like, what does that even do? But what I think is powerful is, imagine being brand new to the internet and there's business owners like of real businesses who are who can barely get 5,000 followers, more or less 10, more or less 50,000 followers. I think what you've done there is really impressive. Um, but I'm super curious how you did that. Like, you come online and go on TikTok just a few months ago. Like, what's your strategy or what was the strategy to growing your TikTok so fast? And how did you combine the growth with also like converting people into buyers?
Well, the strategy is to have a viral video, but we can't just plan those.
Sure.
I did end up having a viral video, and we went from 2,000 to 50,000 within 7 days, and
Wow.
then yeah, it had 1.7 million views on it, and then
Wow.
it got pulled from TikTok.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that happens a lot with those. So that was how long ago?
That was the last week of September.
Okay. Yeah, so not that long ago. Yeah, so, can I give you a little insight into what happens during that when that happens and what I see with people's accounts and stuff like that?
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
so a lot of times when people strike gold with a huge hit viral video, um, typically well, first of all, the video goes insanely viral and it goes across lots of different niches and industries, and people who aren't remotely interested will see your video, right? So that's going to be built in a little bit. It's sort of a flaw in TikTok's algorithm that so when that happens, you're going to probably get more reports of spam or reports of like, I don't want to see this video, something like that. And this happens in lots of industries and niches, weight loss, virtually anything where somebody's trying to sell something or somebody has something to offer or sell, it'll happen. And so, what I think is, well, what I find to be interesting is that TikTok, when that happens, they don't sort of raise the threshold of how many reports that you can sort of handle before the video gets pulled. It's like if they start to come in at a certain rate, um, your video is going to get taken down. Now, the benefit of that is you can go from a few thousand followers to 50,000 followers, and suddenly you've got 50,000 people who have been like, yeah, I want to learn more about that, right? So one thing that you do have is a lot of momentum, but you also have better than momentum, I would say, is a huge follower base of people who saw at least one of your videos, most likely that video. 1.7 million people. Let's say 50,000 divided by 1.7 million is like what, 2%? Yeah. So 2%, 3% of those people who watched that video followed you, which is that's a pretty dang good conversion rate. Um, and then you're sitting there with 50,000 followers. Now, here's the point where people are like a little bit like, okay, what do I do now? Because a lot of times after a video like that gets taken down, your growth is a lot slower afterwards. Has that been the
Yeah.
case for you too?
Oh, yeah, significantly.
Yeah. But I think I wouldn't let that alarm you. That's pretty typical, and I think that since that's happened, have you been able to get a video that's been like 10,000 views or something like that or more?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I had a
See,
30,000 view one in there.
oh, okay. Yeah. So, like, sometimes what happens with people if they get a really viral video, something gets taken down, or maybe they get warnings on their accounts, is like they're almost, it appears to be shadow banned in a sense. I don't love using that word, but um sometimes they worry and they get in their head that, like, "Oh my gosh, there's something wrong with my account." And so they'll stop doing what was working, and they'll stop, creating videos that are both viral. So, like, I recommend doing, let's say, one of those viral style videos or growth style videos. Um, and then doing maybe 10 videos that aren't like that. 10 videos that are more story based, that are more, "Hey, get to know me. Hey," you know, uh, kind of educational, or just like answering questions from your audience or something like that. Like, I noticed on your TikTok, you have like a few videos that are just devoted to replying to comments. And that's
Yeah.
super smart because you're engaging with those followers now, right? And so, um, as long as you've had a really high viewed, video, in the last since that happened, like, your account doesn't have any issues. And so, now it's really just all about, how do I nurture those followers, and how do I keep growing the channel? Because eventually you wanna get to, like, 100,000 or 200,000 or 1,000,000 followers, right? So how do I keep growing the channel, but also how do I keep nurturing this audience? Um, so far, what have you done to nurture your audience, and how do you sort of keep those 50,000 followers engaged, on your social media?
I definitely provide like a variety of value. Like I talk about affiliate marketing, obviously, but then I also regularly post companies that are hiring remotely.
Mm,
And then lately, I've been doing different niche videos showing which companies offer affiliate programs. I talk about my story, answer questions, tons of different things.
yeah, that's cool. And I think, have you tried going live yet?
We've only gone live twice.
Okay,
we're yeah, we're kind of afraid of it, but we're working
sure.
on it.
Yeah.
And last week, like I lost my voice. All week you can still hear it a little bit. So I'm like, I'm working up to it. We'll get there.
Cool. Well, I only say that because, um, look, when you've got 50,000, I've seen this happen with people who had a humongous following, and their whole account got shut down, but they could still access their account. So they would go live, and basically that was the only way they could get in front of their followers, because it wasn't allowing them to post, but they could go live. And so, um, one of the strategies, once you get to 50,000 or 100,000, 200,000 followers, one really interesting strategy is to actually just go live more than you post videos. So it'll decrease the likelihood of getting strikes and things like that, but also, when your followers, here's how I describe this. Imagine there's an onion, and all of the layers of the onion are something called buyer's resistance, meaning they're resistant to listening to you. They think you're just going to sell them something and then disappear on them. All these little objections that people would have, right? You had them when you started the challenge. So if all these layers are there, and you've got somebody in your follower, let's say, who's on here right now? Victor's tuned into the show right now. Um, let's say that this guy Victor here, I don't know Victor, but let's say Victor is one of your followers, right, on TikTok, and he is a little nervous or a little worried about um, listening to you or whatever, and he's like, I don't even know if she's a real person. How do I know that she's not just reposting videos from somebody else's account, and it's not even a real person, right? Maybe this is some person in a foreign country or something. And so you've got all these layers and your videos start to break them down. But if you wanted to drill straight to the middle of that onion, you could go live and really break down that onion super fast, right? And
Yeah.
also I found a lot of times it will help with channel growth too. So like the more that somebody is going live, a lot of times while they're live, the algorithm will push out more of their videos to new audiences and their followers will grow that way too. So anyway, you don't have to do anything. But one way that really can help that next stage, because you're actually in a kind of a cool stage. Most people don't make it to the stage of 50,000 people. I mean, that's a huge. If everybody's here in the comments, can we get like a hand clap? Like, give me some clapping emojis in the chat. You're at that next stage now where the this is a key moment, a key important part where there's also a big handful of people who quit right here because, oh my gosh, my big video I had my stroke of luck and now it's run out. Bummer, and I don't see that in you at all, but it is a place where a lot of people like they start to wonder, like, is this ever gonna work the way it did, when I hit this huge viral video? Like, are things different? Is this ever gonna be the same? And to be consistent and see this not as a 2-month game, but more as like a 12-month game is not easy, it's a hard thing. So, but in terms of your social media, you've got TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Um, most of your content is short form content, right?
Yeah, majority of it.
Yeah. Um, so for instance, a lot of your viral videos are videos where you might show somebody like what was the one I saw? Oh my gosh. It was something like work from home or God, I just had it. Anyway, basically kind of edutainment style videos, right? Like showing people quick, easy, fast ways to make money while they're sitting on their couch or whatever. And
Yeah.
people are like, "Whoa, this is super interesting." Um, and then you've got a lot of stuff that's answering questions, and you've really nurtured this audience. And my whole point in this little mini rant I'm going on is don't underrate the audience that you've built because there's tons and tons and tons of real people sitting inside your TikTok follower account who are sitting there and they're scrolling. And the moment, let's say, for instance, they see you go live, or the moment they, for instance, see you posting another video, eventually we track this, it takes 7, 10 plus touches before somebody's like, oh, okay. And, a live touch counts way more than anything else. So you should play around with that. I really think you should play around with that. We call it the mini webinar strategy. Um, but it's free and it's easy and you don't have to market the hell out of it and you don't have to, try to get people to sign up for anything. Really, all you got to do is just tap the live button, go live. It's nerve wracking. I know. It's super nerve wracking. So I want to validate that. But look, you've done the work. I mean, I wouldn't underestimate all the work that you've done, which is, you've been making content for so long. Like going live is just basically like creating content.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about you first got so you're on TikTok, you build this huge following, you start making some money, you're doing well in that realm. Um, what are you of all the success that you've had, what struggles have you faced internally, maybe what any internal blocks or what's been hard and what have you felt like you've overcome throughout this process?
Staying consistent has been a struggle for real. Like, I have a 2 and a 3-year-old, and I work every night after they go to bed for like 2 or 3 hours a night on content and continuing our education within the blueprints and just a variety of things. And so it's been hard, keeping up with them all day, getting my workout in, making 3 meals, doing everything that I have to do as a stay at home mom. And then after I get them to bed, I don't sit down and watch Netflix anymore like I used to. I have to get to work. And so staying consistent with that has definitely been a struggle, but I just what what would future Tiffany want me to do? And it is not sit down and watch Netflix.
Hell yeah, for real. And most people just aren't willing to do that. You know that. Most people just aren't willing. Kind of similar thing. And props to you because that's a real discipline. And you guys, you wrote in your questionnaire, you guys do a lot of working out together or whatever. You guys go to the gym and stuff together.
We work out at home. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Very nice. Yeah,
Mhm.
so, that level of discipline too. You've got sort of this built-in discipline of like, "Hey, here's where I wanna go," and that's all about, from what you wrote in here, which I thought was, really powerful. It's all about, your little toddlers. Our 2 toddlers are our motivation, they're our reason for everything. And,
Mhm.
man, it's powerful because think about 30 years ago if somebody had the motivation. It's almost a little morbid to think about, actually. I hate thinking about this, but I want to bring it up because I think it's powerful. Like 30 years ago, somebody has that motivation, right? What do they do? I mean, i- in terms of a side hustle, or what are they going to do? Go drive Uber? Nope, that doesn't exist. Get a paper route? I don't know, maybe. Like, yeah, in terms of like real side hustles, the internet has opened up this opportunity to change financial lives forever. And what's crazy to me is, yeah, 30 years ago when I was born, or a few years after I was born, the internet wasn't a thing. Like, you weren't popping on the internet to make money on TikTok. Like, that's just not an option. And so there weren't really these options for us to sort of hack social media, or not hack it, but you get my point. Um, those options didn't really exist. And now we've got lots of people sitting on this live right at this moment, a couple hundred people who are looking at the opportunity in front of them and are sort of squandering it. They're sort of like, well, I don't know if I could really do that. I mean, think back 30 years ago, that 50 years ago, 100 years, that none of that existed. And I wanted to say kudos to you for grabbing that opportunity. You've only been going after this after what, like 4 months or something, and you guys are crushing it. You're killing it. What
Thank
role,
you.
I'm curious, what role does your husband play in this, and how do you guys work together in the business? To what extent do you guys do that together?
Yeah, so we do all the trainings together. We brainstorm together, plan future affiliate opportunities together. He does a lot of the back office stuff. If we want to tweak our funnel or do anything like send out a what do you call that? Like a forced email. He works on all that stuff, like filtering through our email autoresponder. But since the back end office is automated, he doesn't have to work as much as I do, which is great because he does have a 9 to 5, so he can take a little bit more of a break in the evening.
Nice. So he's got a steady income that makes things for you guys a little bit more predictable and not quite, so chaotic where your entire livelihood is just dependent on, going viral on TikTok, because that can be an up and down roller coaster. But he's also got a little bit of time to help you. Man, that's a cool partnership. That's a cool um it must feel good to have, support from each other as you're starting that up and starting to grow that. That's super cool.
Yeah, it's been a
Um,
really fun bonding experience.
yeah, yeah, very cool. And you're lucky too. Not lucky, I mean, you guys have probably worked on, that relationship and getting to the point where you guys are, but lucky in the sense of like, that doesn't happen to everybody. And that level of like, connection and partnership is something that can be really powerful and help each other push through a lot of boundaries. It can also help each other enable each other to not do something. I'm scared to go live. Yeah, it is scary. Maybe we put that off for another month. You know what I mean? Like, I've definitely seen that one before. Or with anything, not just live. I'm just saying live because it's just at the top. It's just at the top of my head. But um, Man, so cool. So, right now we've got 50,000 followers. You guys got 50,000 followers. Um, tell me or tell our listeners here, and I'm gonna put your TikTok up here for people to follow you. You've got the same you have the same handle for everything, so that's nice. Tell the followers who are here a little bit about what you see as sort of the next steps and what your day to day is sort of like. I mean, what's the content creation like? What if you and I forget your husband's name, but I guess it's not in here, which is fine. Um,
Matt.
Matt, perfect, great name. Um, what are you guys strategizing? What's on the agenda next, and what are you hoping to accomplish next?
Yeah, we actually just had a business meeting Sunday night. We're talking about plans, starting another TikTok page, and how we're going to do the affiliate marketing for that, and what our business plan is. Our email sequence is going to be just getting all the plans out there so that we can continue to grow the business in other directions as well.
Cool.
Yeah, so we're excited.
I love it. Very cool. I've got your do you pronounce it Covington or Covington?
Covington.
Covington Cash Conscious up here on the screen. So everybody who's watching and everybody who's going to tune into our replay can see that. And man, cool journey. I'm excited for you and your guys' little toddlers to not only just reap the benefits of everything you're doing now, but also, I feel like to watch parents or, they might be too young now, but to observe parents trying something new. You know what I mean? Which I think Dave talked about this like a year ago or something, and it really stuck with me. The ability for parents to teach their kids how to start something new. This is brand new. You've never done this before. How to, and I think that that's just really powerful. So, um, thanks so much for coming on the show today, Tiffany. And we'd love to have you back on. If you ever want to come back on the show, update us in a couple months. Like, I'd be really curious to get an email from you in a couple months and see where you're at. And if you ever need any help with TikTok or growth on TikTok or whatever, always feel free to reach out. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. Have a great rest of your Wednesday.
You too.
All right. So I've got Tiffany. I have her TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube here on the screen. It's Covington Cash Conscious, and it's Covington. So Covington Cash Conscious. And you can find Matt and Tiffany on TikTok, on Instagram, on YouTube. And make sure if you go follow her, let's guilt trip Tiffany into going live. Okay. I'm just kidding. Everybody go. I love doing this. I'm such an asshole. Go to her TikTok and pull it open. And let's see if I can find it real quick. Covington Cash Conscious. Okay, here we go. Let's have a little fun with this. So there we go. Boom. I found it. That's how easy it is to find this. All right. It's super simple. And then, basically all you got to do is just go watch a video and comment. Man, it'd be so great if you went live and taught us your strategies. If everybody could go do that right now, that'd be awesome. I'm just kidding. Anyway. All right. That is a wrap on our Wednesday, November 2nd. We'll be back here again tomorrow and on Friday for another edition of Wake Up Legendary. We go live at 10 a.m. Eastern. If you don't already know, on our Facebook page, we go live at 10 a.m. Eastern every Monday through Friday. Make sure you tune in. If you need to get instructions on how to tune in, you can always message your advisor or email support@legendarymarketer.com, and we can get you instructions on how to tune in live every single day. Peace out, everybody. See ya.